Okay, let's continue with this medieval journal. I've already gathered the thread that I'm going to need to sew these two signatures into the spine, and I have made 6 holes for the signatures. They are over here in the center and over here, and I have already punched the same holes here so that they are the exact same places. And now I will add some beeswax to the thread, that way it won't tangle and it's more it will last longer. There's one and the other. I put this little cabinet here underneath so that you can see better what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you some things that I added after the last time. There, I'm going to use this round needle, round-headed needle with a large eye here, and maybe this very small hook. I find this quite handy. And an awl to make the holes, and now I have to find the holes again because these have been, the papers have been moving, so I'm going to find the places that I punched. I'm using about 3 times the length of the signature. There's quite a lot you could do with less, but this way I have more flexibility. There. I'm starting here inside the first signature from the center. I'm going to make this 3-stitch, I think it's called pamphlet stitch. Very easy and simple, and I'm finding the hole over there, and let's double check that we're going to put this the right way. Let's see, this was the end, I think. Always double check. Yes, this was the first signature, so be sure that you're going to sew it to the right place. And there's this hole. And then I'm going to find these holes over there. And carefully, we don't want these to be too tight, but it has to be, it can't be too loose either. But you must be careful not to tear these holes. Then I'm going back to the center. Over there. And the end here. And now, because I have excess thread here, I can open this easily and find the holes that I have made here. Let's tighten it. Both sides, checking. And then it seems that I don't need the little hook. This works quite well with just with the needle. And then make the knot. It's just my style. I'm making 3 knots here and then this final security knot here. But it's just the way I do it. There. And this next one, the same procedure. Find the center hole and make sure that all the papers are the right way, upside here and the bottom here. Center. And back to the center. Tighten it carefully. And one more. Now I took this off, so I probably will need the small hook. Like that. Let's see if, yes, it's tight enough. There. And it's ready. It took me in total a couple of days to make this. Full days. It looks easy when I video the most important parts and edit the boring parts. But it takes some time, even though it's quite simple. But let me show you. I added here this snippet. I think this looks gorgeous, this ruffle. And there's this. Actually, it's like more like an embellishment card because it's so dark on the other side. Of course, you could write with white pen, and it would be okay. But embellishment more. And then there's this card. And this card here. Then there's a lot of stamping that I did yesterday. There's like a medieval castle or town with the town walls and towers. All these stamps are Maki stamps. There's how should I say, some kind of a knight with a rabbit over there, like a medallion. Then there's a medieval lady and a knight and a horse. Then there's sun and the moon and the wise lady. There's a lady with a hawk riding. Then there's this scientist. And a flower. And I added this large piece here to cover some more modern stuff underneath, because I wanted this to be a monastery, medievalish style journal. There's this ornament and a juggler. There's a man. I don't know more about him, but he looks medieval. And then I hid the von Raven lady because she looked too modern. She was from another era, but the paper was nice. There's also this ornamental piece here and here, and I added this snippet. And I used this monastery, or how should I say, it's not like a snippet because it's so large, but more like a edge illustration from a book edge, page edge. Well, you know what I mean, even though I can't find the right words. There's this thimble, I think. Let me check out the right word for that. It was thistle that I was looking for. Then there's this ornamental piece, gorgeous. And another large piece hiding the von Graven lady. And there's this more of the era, lady from the, more or less from the right era. Then there's this large piece that I hit this stamp. There's a little devil hiding there. Very medieval style imagery. Another piece here. And that beautiful flower. There's another ornamental piece. And there's another rabbit medallion. Oh, because this journal is Monastery journal, there's Saint Wolfgang over there, and another scientist. The journal is also discussing different stories, for example, church versus science. Interesting. You can imagine all kinds of stories when you look at these pictures. There are so many. It's like a picture book. This image looks very medieval. It's a pilgrim. Then there's a lady on horseback with a rabbit. Then I added this little piece here, and this here, and this larger. I should probably show you this more closely. There are two owls. Then there's this tab pocket, and there's another embellishment card here, a little piece over there, and these embellishments on the left side of that page, and this beautiful image. There's another ornamental piece and a porcupine. This gentleman here is playing to be someone that is visiting the monastery. He is not probably dressed as a medieval person, but, well, his clothing is old enough, and it's not medieval journal, it's a monastery journal, so we're acting like we're playing an imaginary game that he's visiting the monastery. And there's that dragon that I have shown you already. Another ornamental piece there, and as medieval times were the times of the plague, there's the plague doctor. I'm playing around with these old times. Some images are medieval and some are old, antique. There's a skull. Another little snippet, and this map-like round stamp. There's a text stamp and this little ornamental piece here, and another hiding again something too modern underneath. There's this little initial and this stamp about a rainbow. Then there's this science stamp about world and universe. Another ornamental piece here with a little bit of those notes, music showing there, and an ornamental stamp. This initial snippet and some monastery herbal garden pieces here. There's a rosemary. Another one of universe themed largest stamp. Initial and herbal stamp. This longer ornamental snippet with this bird and this gorgeous calligraphy stamp. There's the world. That's the same stamp that I used when I made this paper for myself. It's quite dark, it's probably a little bit difficult to see, but it's the same as in here. There are all these winds blowing. All the points of the compass. Then there's this. And a bat, of course. Somehow it fits to the theme. And another dragon that I have already shown you. The little snippet here and a stag. Too modern of a stag for a medieval journal, so let's think about this as a monastery journal. Maybe this stag was part of the monastery's lands. There's maybe some kind of king. He looks like a king. And one more of these initials. There's a pocket, and I added this card like that, so that when you turn it, the beautiful side is showing and not too dark sides, but like that. And there was this flower from the monastery papers, and this tag goes in here. And one more thing, I think I showed you all of these, but there's this mat. I think it was very appropriate for this monastery. It's hiding here in the pocket. And there. Now you have seen it all. I hope you like this, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye bye!